Well, I'm in the last steps of finishing this top for my 11 passenger, and I mentioned last time that I have these tack strips to put in for the upholstery. And that's just a simple little deal. Well, it's turning out to be not quite so simple. When I look at this cross frame off of the old one, this is that tack strip that I need to stick on. Well, it is about a 1/2 inch deep this direction, and it is 3/8 of an inch thick this way. And you can see there are nails about every 2.5 inches to hold this in place. So I went ahead and cut some strips that are 3/8 by 1/2. And since it bows on the 3/8 direction, it does bow fairly comfortably on that cross frame. So that's not the problem. What becomes a little more difficult is this bend here, because it's being bent on the 1/2 inch thickness. Now I have played with this a little bit, and I can pull it. It is a lot of resistance there, but I have put a clamp on it, and I can pull it into place. Just kind of force it in there. And when I did it before, it didn't break. So I think I can get that done. And if I glue it, that glue will help a lot in holding it into place. But there's going to be a lot of tension on that, so I'm kind of concerned if I am just depending on the glue or if my nails are actually holding anything. Well, I really don't think it's worth firing my steamer up to do this, so I'm going to see if just heating it up on my old stove here will kind of help maybe relieve some of that pressure when I pull it into place. Even though all the times previously I've mentioned that it's easy to relax a bend, but it's difficult to put a bend in without steam. Well, I'm going to try heat and just use what moisture is in this wood to see if I can get some bend. If I can gain anything, it's going to release some of that stress in that wood when I pull it into that curve. One thing about it being a small piece of wood, it doesn't take long to heat up. It's pretty hot. Almost too hot for me to want to hold it. Maybe I should have put gloves on, huh? So I'm just going to let this cool off. And I've got to trim this corner just a little bit to match this angle. But just let it cool and see how much bend we actually can put into this piece. So while this is cooling off, maybe I can adjust this angle just a little bit. That's probably a little closer. One thing about being small, heats up fast and it cools down fast. See how much bend we accomplished? Anything will take some stress out of it. Yeah, wasn't a lot. Got a little bit. May just have to depend on the glue, but we'll take what we can get. You know, when you look at it from this perspective, it may not seem like we gained a lot of bend in this, but when you look at it more from this direction, you can see we did gain some bend, so we're going to take some stress out of that. Kind of pushing its limits. So this is going to rest right against the edge of the bows on the inside. And I'm just going to glue that in place. And when the glue's set, I'll come back and put some nails in it. Well, this has had quite a bit of time for that glue to set up. We'll see if that glue will just hold it by itself. And it sure looks like it will. I'll just come back and add my nails afterwards here. So for my end strip, I put little blocks here that's going to level up these corners. And I'm just going to bend this into shape. That'll keep that level. And I've got one on both sides, so I can just kind of push it into shape there. And I made me a little block that's going to be kind of my depth gauge. Just make it flush with the curve here, where it stands up a little tall. I'm just going to push it down where it needs to be, so I have the same depth all the way across. And I can glue that into place and let it set and cure up. Well, up until now, there has not been a front and back. It's pretty symmetrical. Once I put it on the coach and drill the holes for my top irons, then it will become front and back because they'll have to be hole specific. I'm going to try to do this one-man circus without having a wreck. I think I can pick it up pretty well balanced in the center and try to roll the coach body underneath it. Famous last words, you know. Try to keep this from slipping side to side. Now see how balanced we are here. Not bad. Going to be a little heavy in the front, which is okay. Add a little control string here. think I'll put it on the other side here. I think I'm going to have to go pretty high. As high as I can go right there. Tie this off till I get my coach up here. Be nice if I could go just a little higher. Gonna be pretty close there. Got 3 of the 4. I need to do that right front. Grab me a stool. There we go. All 4 are in. So just resting naturally, I'm pretty good on my cross angle. My angles are actually pretty good, but you see I'm about a ½ inch away from the frame, and I'm about the same on the other side. I'm maybe 3/8 there, but I can pull it into place on both sides, clamp it so it's where it needs to be. Then I'll take my torch and heat up the iron in here, which will stress relieve it and actually put those right in the place where they need to be. This right rear needs to maybe kind of rotate just a little bit, and this left rear looks like I need to adjust that just a fuzz too. We're really close though. But having this top frame on does give it a little more of a scope of just what it's going to look like when it's finished. Well, I get to do this again for my 8-passenger. So that gets the tops for both coaches, framework anyway. Paint and upholster and some fine tuning. But I always like it when the top goes on, because then it gives kind of the full size of what they're going to look like. So now if you happen to have the chance this summer to stop by, this is probably what you're going to see when you walk in the door. Appreciate you coming along. Thanks for watching.